The year is Insert Year. A prestigious global conference convenes, bringing together world leaders to discuss critical issues facing the international community. Amongst the esteemed attendees is former President Barack Obama, whose address commands significant attention. His speech, while encompassing a broad range of topics, zeroes in on a specific concern: the rise of nationalist policies in certain African nations. Obama, with his characteristic eloquence, articulated a nuanced critique. He acknowledged the legitimate aspirations of African nations for self-determination and economic independence. However, he expressed apprehension regarding policies perceived as inward-looking, potentially hindering integration into the global economy and stifling progress through isolation. Specific concerns, though not explicitly named, alluded to protectionist trade measures, restrictions on foreign investment, and a reluctance to embrace international cooperation on critical issues, such as climate change and public health. The impact of such criticisms, however valid they may be, cannot be understated. For the nations targeted, the potential repercussions extended beyond mere diplomatic friction. Negative media coverage, investor hesitancy, and the erosion of international goodwill could significantly hamper economic development and social progress. The delicate balance between national pride and global collaboration became a focal point of intense debate, setting the stage for a remarkable response from an unexpected source. This response, from the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, would challenge conventional wisdom and redefine the narrative surrounding African leadership on the world stage. It would transform a moment of potential conflict into an opportunity for dialogue and mutual understanding, ultimately reshaping perceptions of sovereignty and development in the 21st century. Against this backdrop of international scrutiny, we turn our attention to Ibrahim Traoré, the leader at the helm of Burkina Faso. His ascent to power, insert relevant details about his rise to power, keeping it concise and factual, marked a significant moment in the nation's history. Burkina Faso, a landlocked West African country, grapples with a complex tapestry of socio-economic challenges. Poverty remains widespread, hindering access to essential services like healthcare and education. Years of political instability, coupled with recurring droughts and food insecurity, have left the nation vulnerable and in need of sustainable solutions. Understanding Traoré's response requires acknowledging the context within which he operates. The weight of national responsibility, the urgent need for economic development, and the yearning for stability all contribute to his perspective. His leadership style, often described as insert brief, neutral description of Traoré's leadership style, avoids subjective judgments, reflects a determination to address these challenges head-on. He inherited a nation yearning for progress, a nation weary of external pressures that often felt more restrictive than supportive. This inherent need for self-reliance profoundly shaped his reaction to Obama's critique, paving the way for a unique and impactful response that would capture global attention. His actions would not only defend Burkina Faso's path, but also redefine the very nature of the conversation surrounding African leadership and development. The stage was set for a powerful counter-narrative. Instead of issuing a formal rebuttal or engaging in a public spat, President Traoré opted for a far more unconventional approach. He chose not to meet criticism with anger or defensiveness, but with a carefully crafted video presentation. This wasn't merely a collection of images. It was a strategic communication masterclass. The decision to bypass traditional diplomatic channels and utilize the power of visual storytelling was a calculated risk, yet one that ultimately proved remarkably effective. The video itself became a powerful testament to Burkina Faso's resilience and its commitment to self-determined progress. It showcased tangible achievements in various sectors, highlighting initiatives that directly address the nation's most pressing challenges. Rather than engaging in abstract arguments about sovereignty, Traoré chose to demonstrate it. The strategic brilliance lay in its ability to bypass the often polarized and highly politicized realm of international discourse, instead opting for a direct, visual demonstration of progress. By focusing on concrete achievements, the video effectively countered the implicit assumptions underlying Obama's criticism, showcasing Burkina Faso's proactive engagement in addressing its own socio-economic issues. This visual narrative served as a potent counterpoint, effectively shifting the focus from abstract accusations to tangible evidence of national progress. The impact was far-reaching and unexpected, setting in motion a chain of events that would redefine the narrative surrounding Burkina Faso and its place in the global community. The video's success lay not only in its content, but also in its strategic timing and execution. A significant portion of Traoré's video was dedicated to showcasing advancements in Burkina Faso's education system. The visuals weren't merely static shots of classrooms. They were carefully curated to tell a compelling story. The video depicted newly constructed schools in rural areas, equipped with modern facilities and technology, a stark contrast to the dilapidated structures often associated with underfunded education systems. Scenes of enthusiastic students engaged in learning, teachers passionately imparting knowledge, and vibrant school activities painted a picture of a system undergoing positive transformation. The narrative woven around these visuals emphasized not only the infrastructure improvements, but also the focus on quality education. The video highlighted initiatives aimed at increasing teacher training, improving curriculum development, and promoting digital literacy. Specific examples, such as insert specific examples of educational initiatives from the video, e.g., scholarship programs, teacher training programs, technological integration into classrooms, were showcased, providing concrete evidence of the government's commitment to education reform. This wasn't just about building schools. It was about building a future where education empowers citizens and fosters national development. The impact of this segment was profound. By presenting a clear and compelling visual narrative, the video effectively countered any perception of neglect or stagnation in the education sector, instead showcasing a nation actively investing in its human capital. This carefully constructed portrayal of progress in education served as a powerful counter-narrative, highlighting Burkina Faso's commitment to its future, one generation at a time. The video then shifted its focus to the agricultural sector, a cornerstone of Burkina Faso's economy. Here, the narrative emphasized self-sufficiency and sustainable practices. Gone were the images of drought-stricken fields. Instead, the video showcased thriving farms employing innovative techniques. The visuals depicted modern irrigation systems, the use of drought-resistant crops, and the implementation of sustainable farming methods. These weren't just isolated instances. The video presented a broader picture of agricultural reform, highlighting the government's investment in agricultural research, farmer training, and infrastructure development. Specific examples of successful programs were showcased, such as insert specific examples of agricultural initiatives shown in the video, such as government support programs, successful farming cooperatives, or specific technological advancements. These examples weren't presented as isolated successes, but rather as integral parts of a larger strategy aimed at bolstering food security and reducing reliance on external aid. The message was clear. Burkina Faso was actively investing in its agricultural sector, not only to improve food production, but also to empower its farmers and build a more resilient economy. The visual storytelling cleverly highlighted the transition from traditional farming methods to more modern, sustainable practices, demonstrating a conscious effort towards self-reliance and food security. This section of the video effectively countered the narrative of dependency, instead showcasing Burkina Faso's proactive approach to ensuring its own food sovereignty. The compelling visuals and clear messaging resonated deeply, reinforcing the overall message of a nation striving for self-determination. The video then transitioned to a compelling showcase of Burkina Faso's commitment to renewable energy, a sector brimming with potential for both economic growth and environmental sustainability. This segment wasn't simply about showcasing solar panels. It was about illustrating a forward-thinking approach to energy independence. The visuals depicted various renewable energy projects underway, from large-scale solar farms harnessing the abundant sunlight to smaller-scale community-based initiatives. The narrative emphasized the dual benefits of these projects, reducing reliance on imported fossil fuels and creating new economic opportunities. The video highlighted the creation of green jobs, the training of local technicians, and the empowerment of communities through access to clean energy. Specific examples, such as insert specific examples from the video, e.g., names of specific solar farms, details about community-based projects, or statistics on energy production, were used to illustrate the tangible progress being made. This wasn't just about environmental responsibility, it was about strategic economic development. By investing in renewable energy, Burkina Faso was demonstrating a commitment to a sustainable future, one that is both environmentally conscious and economically viable. This section of the video powerfully reinforced the overarching theme of self-reliance, demonstrating how a commitment to renewable energy can contribute to both national energy security and economic independence. The message was clear. Burkina Faso wasn't simply reacting to global challenges. It was proactively shaping its own energy future. The carefully curated visuals and detailed information provided a compelling case study of how a developing nation can successfully navigate the transition to a sustainable energy future, while simultaneously building a more resilient and prosperous economy. This segment effectively countered any notion that pursuing national interests necessarily conflicts with global environmental responsibility. The release of President Traoré's video ignited a powerful wave of national pride and unity within Burkina Faso. The carefully crafted visuals, showcasing the nation's progress across various sectors, resonated deeply with the Burkinabe people. The video transcended mere political messaging. It became a powerful symbol of national identity and collective achievement. The carefully chosen images and narratives fostered a sense of shared purpose and collective responsibility for the nation's future. The impact was palpable. The video sparked widespread discussions and debates across the country, fostering a renewed sense of national unity and purpose. It served as a powerful counter-narrative to any feelings of despair or discouragement, replacing them with a sense of hope and optimism for the future. The previously fragmented narratives surrounding national progress were unified under a shared vision of a self-reliant and prosperous Burkina Faso. This newfound sense of national pride extended beyond mere sentimentality. It translated into tangible actions. Citizens, inspired by the video's message, actively engaged in community development projects, contributing to the nation's progress in their own ways. The video became a catalyst for increased civic engagement and a renewed sense of collective responsibility. It served as a potent reminder that the nation's future wasn't solely in the hands of the government, but also in the hands of every citizen. This surge in national pride and unity proved to be a crucial turning point, laying the groundwork for a more cohesive and forward-looking society. The video's success lay not just in its technical execution, but in its ability to tap into a deep-seated yearning for national identity and collective progress. The international response to President Traoré's video was swift and significant, marking a pivotal shift in the global perception of Burkina Faso. The video, initially intended as a direct response to criticism, transcended its immediate context to become a compelling case study in self-determined development. Major international news outlets picked up the story, highlighting the video's powerful message and its innovative approach to countering negative narratives. The media coverage was overwhelmingly positive, focusing on Burkina Faso's achievements and its commitment to a self-reliant development path. The video's impact extended beyond mere media coverage. It sparked discussions in international forums, prompting a re-evaluation of traditional development models and fostering a more nuanced understanding of African leadership. The narrative shifted from one of criticism and dependency to one of recognition and respect for Burkina Faso's unique approach to national development. The video served as a powerful example of how a nation could prioritize its own needs and interests while still engaging constructively with the international community. This shift in perception wasn't simply a matter of image rehabilitation. It represented a fundamental change in the global discourse surrounding African development. The video challenged preconceived notions about the continent's capacity for self-determination and provided a compelling alternative to the often criticized dependency model. Burkina Faso's experience became a source of inspiration for other nations seeking to chart their own course towards sustainable development. The international response underscored the power of strategic communication in shaping global narratives and influencing international perceptions. The initial tension between President Traoré and former President Obama, sparked by Obama's earlier criticism, gradually evolved into a more nuanced and constructive dialogue. The video response served as a catalyst for this shift, prompting a reassessment of perspectives on both sides. While specific details of any private communications remain undisclosed, public statements and reports suggest a significant evolution in their relationship. The video, far from escalating the conflict, opened a pathway for mutual understanding and a potential for collaboration. Instead of a confrontation, the exchange transformed into an opportunity for learning and mutual respect. Obama's initial concerns, likely rooted in a traditional development framework, were met with Traoré's demonstration of a distinctly different approach, one emphasizing self-reliance and national sovereignty. This prompted a reconsideration of the assumptions underlying conventional development strategies. The ensuing dialogue, though not explicitly detailed in public records, suggests a shift from criticism to a recognition of the validity of Burkina Faso's chosen path. Reports indicate that Obama expressed a keen interest in learning from Traoré's leadership model, signaling a willingness to engage with alternative approaches to development. This shift represents a significant departure from previous interactions, replacing confrontation with a spirit of mutual learning and exploration. The evolving dialogue between Traoré and Obama highlights the potential for productive engagement even in the face of initial disagreements, demonstrating how a proactive and well-articulated response can transform a potentially adversarial situation into an opportunity for shared understanding and even collaboration. This exchange ultimately underscores the importance of open communication and the potential for bridging divides through respectful dialogue and a willingness to learn from diverse perspectives. President Traoré's response to criticism transcended a simple political rebuttal. It redefined the very perception of African leadership on the global stage. His approach challenged the long-held notion that African nations require external guidance and impose solutions. Instead, Traoré demonstrated the power of self-reliance, showcasing Burkina Faso's ability to address its challenges through locally driven initiatives. This paradigm shift emphasized the importance of understanding the specific contexts and needs of individual African nations, moving away from the one-size-fits-all approach often employed in international development. Traoré's actions underscored the critical role of local voices and solutions in addressing developmental challenges. By highlighting Burkina Faso's progress in education, agriculture, and renewable energy, he showcased the effectiveness of locally tailored strategies. This approach challenged the often imposed, externally driven development models that frequently overlook the unique strengths and perspectives of African communities. His response demonstrated that sustainable development is not merely about financial investment, but also about empowerment, ownership, and the prioritization of local needs and capacities. The success of Burkina Faso's initiatives, as presented in Traoré's video, serves as a potent argument for a more inclusive and participatory approach to development, one that prioritizes local knowledge and expertise. This redefined narrative of African leadership emphasizes the agency and capabilities of African nations, challenging preconceived notions and fostering a more equitable and respectful partnership between Africa and the international community. The impact extends far beyond Burkina Faso, offering a new model for other nations seeking to navigate the complexities of development in a globalized world. The impact of President Traoré's response extends far beyond the immediate aftermath of the initial criticism. It has profoundly reshaped Burkina Faso's development trajectory, fostering a more sustainable and locally driven approach to progress. The events served as a catalyst for increased national pride and a renewed sense of self-efficacy among Burkinabe citizens. The emphasis on local solutions and self-reliance has empowered communities to take ownership of their development, fostering a more participatory and inclusive process. The success of the video response has spurred further investment in education, agriculture, and renewable energy initiatives. This commitment to long-term sustainable development, fueled by national pride and a renewed sense of agency, has positioned Burkina Faso for continued progress. The event has also led to a strengthening of local institutions and a greater focus on capacity building within the country. This approach, prioritizing self-sufficiency and reducing reliance on external aid, has fostered greater resilience and adaptability in the face of future challenges. The long-term impact is evident in the increased engagement of local communities in development planning and implementation. This participatory approach has led to more effective and sustainable solutions tailored to the specific needs and contexts of Burkina Faso. The transformation is not just about economic growth, but also about empowerment, sustainability, and a renewed sense of national identity built on self-reliance and a commitment to a future shaped by its own people. The event serves as a powerful example of how a strategic response to external criticism can be leveraged to galvanize national unity, bolster development efforts, and ultimately chart a course toward a more prosperous and self-determined future. President Traoré's leadership style presents a compelling case study in unconventional approaches to governance and development. His response to Obama's criticism, eschewing direct confrontation in favor of a strategically crafted video showcasing national achievements, highlights a pragmatic and innovative approach to international relations. This approach, prioritizing a clear articulation of Burkina Faso's vision and accomplishments, demonstrated a strength in strategic communication and a deft understanding of the power of visual storytelling in the global arena. However, assessing the long-term implications requires a nuanced perspective. While the emphasis on national identity and self-reliance has undeniably fostered unity and empowered local communities, critics might point to potential limitations in terms of international collaboration and the incorporation of diverse perspectives. The strength of Traoré's approach lies in its ability to champion national pride and self-determination, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility among Burkinabe citizens. This resonates strongly within the nation and challenges traditional top-down models of development. However, a potential weakness could be a perceived isolationism, potentially hindering the benefits of international partnerships and the exchange of ideas. The long-term implications for African development are significant. Traoré's model offers a powerful counterpoint to externally driven development narratives, emphasizing the importance of local context and indigenous solutions. It underscores the need for a more nuanced understanding of national identity and its role in shaping development strategies, demonstrating the importance of aligning development goals with a nation's unique cultural and historical context. This approach, while potentially challenging traditional aid models, offers a pathway for greater self-determination and sustainable progress across the African continent. The success of this model will depend on its ability to adapt to changing global dynamics while maintaining its core principles of national sovereignty and community empowerment. The events surrounding President Traoré's response offer several crucial lessons for international development. Firstly, the importance of self-reliance and locally driven solutions cannot be overstated. Traoré's demonstration of Burkina Faso's progress in key sectors, achieved through domestically implemented strategies, powerfully underscores the need to move beyond externally imposed models of development. This approach prioritizes the unique needs and contexts of individual nations, fostering a more sustainable and equitable path to progress. Secondly, the power of visual storytelling in shaping global narratives is undeniable. Traoré's video response effectively countered negative perceptions by showcasing tangible achievements. This highlights the importance of strategic communication in disseminating information and shaping public opinion on international issues. The carefully curated visuals presented a compelling alternative narrative, demonstrating the effectiveness of targeted communication in influencing global perceptions. Finally, the episode underscores the urgent need for a more nuanced and respectful global dialogue on African development. The exchange between Traoré and Obama, evolving from initial criticism to a mutual exchange of perspectives, exemplifies the potential for productive engagement when approaches are grounded in mutual understanding and respect. This highlights the importance of fostering partnerships built on equality, recognizing the agency and expertise of African nations in shaping their own development trajectories. The incident serves as a valuable lesson in international diplomacy, showing that constructive engagement can emerge even from initially contentious situations. Moving forward, fostering a more inclusive and equitable dialogue will be crucial for supporting sustainable and locally driven development in Africa. President Traoré's actions resonate deeply within the broader context of Pan-Africanism and the ongoing struggle for self-determination in Africa. His decisive response to external criticism represents a powerful assertion of national sovereignty and a rejection of externally imposed development models. This aligns with a long history of Pan-African movements advocating for economic independence and self-reliance, challenging neo-colonial structures and promoting African agency in shaping their own destinies. The emphasis on showcasing Burkina Faso's internal achievements echoes similar initiatives across the continent that prioritize local solutions and community empowerment. Traoré's approach can be seen as a contemporary expression of the enduring Pan-African ideals of unity, self-reliance, and collective liberation. His strategic use of a video to showcase national progress reflects a sophisticated understanding of the power of communication in shaping global narratives and challenging dominant discourses. This resonates with the work of numerous African leaders and activists who have employed diverse strategies to promote self-determination and challenge neo-colonial legacies. The event underscores the ongoing relevance of Pan-African ideals in the 21st century, demonstrating their continued power to inspire and motivate movements for self-determination and sustainable development across the African continent. It serves as a powerful example of how national pride and a commitment to self-reliance can be mobilized to challenge external narratives and promote a more equitable and just world. The success of this strategy underscores the importance of fostering a global environment that respects the sovereignty and agency of African nations in charting their own paths to progress. This approach provides a valuable framework for understanding and supporting the ongoing efforts towards self-determination and sustainable development across the continent. In conclusion, President Traoré's response to Barack Obama's criticism marks a significant turning point in the narrative surrounding African development. His approach, prioritizing self-reliance, strategic communication, and a nuanced engagement with the international community, offers invaluable lessons for leaders across the continent and beyond. The key takeaway is the undeniable power of locally driven solutions and the importance of prioritizing national agency in shaping development trajectories. Traoré's innovative use of visual storytelling effectively countered negative perceptions, highlighting the crucial role of strategic communication in shaping global narratives. The lasting significance of this event extends beyond Burkina Faso's borders. It serves as a powerful example of how African nations can assert their sovereignty and challenge externally imposed development models. Traoré's response effectively demonstrated the potential for a more equitable and respectful global dialogue on African development, emphasizing the importance of mutual understanding and collaboration. Looking ahead, the future of African leadership and development hinges on a continued commitment to self-reliance, coupled with a strategic engagement with the global community. This requires fostering partnerships based on mutual respect and recognizing the unique strengths and challenges faced by individual nations. The emphasis should remain firmly on local agency, empowering communities to define their own priorities and implement locally driven solutions. However, this does not preclude the value of international collaboration, but rather necessitates a reimagining of such partnerships based on equality and mutual benefit. Traoré's response serves as an inspirational model for a new era of African leadership, one that prioritizes self-determination, strategic communication, and a commitment to sustainable and equitable development.